Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video on a very cold day. Today I am doing another paid request, this time from Jonathan Lindsey, who wanted me to do a commentary on Space Jam, which came out around 1996, and I know they're coming out with a sequel, whatever, but let's get into it once I get settled here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As we have the Warner Bros. Logo, just for syncing issues, Bugs Bunny leaning on it, eating carrot, fade out, and there we go. Now, Space Jam, I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I saw it when it came to home video. And at the time, being like, hey, I like Bugs Bunny. I remember watching I forget exactly what it was called, Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show. It was on ABC for quite a few years. And again, enjoying the characters. And of the sports, I'm not a big sports guy, but the sports I'd be open to, the one would be basketball. And like a lot of people enjoyed Michael Jordan. And it was around the time when he first retired. He was going through his baseball phase, which was horrible. Of note, the soundtrack to this is really cool. It's a really good soundtrack. You have the I Believe I Can Fly. You have Fly Like an Eagle. When the opening credits start happening, going to the jam. Because Michael Jordan in an early age. I know Jordan was very close with his father, and he was really broken up when his father passed away. I'm trying to remember, was his father like murdered or something? I don't know all the history of Michael Jordan, sorry. Now, of course, I know this was done because you had all these Nike commercials with Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. And I believe those commercials was directed by the same guy who did this movie. And so, this director, he may have known about directing commercials, but directing a movie is a very different matter. And someone was telling me, because I was complaining about the sequel, they're like, well, the director, he didn't know what he was doing. I don't know all the details of that. It's just, to me, I never felt there was a need for a sequel. I mean, was going to be the same type of movie that we've already seen, only it's LeBron James, and I'm sorry. If you're a big LeBron James fan, that's cool. To me, he doesn't have the same uh, legacy as Michael Jordan, in my opinion. People disagree with that. And just the Space Jam thing is just such a 90s thing. You look at Michael Jordan at the time being one of the most popular figures, sports or otherwise. The soundtrack. Do you think people can still think of love and joy or remember the soundtrack, the music? Do you think any song in Space Jam Legacy people are going to think and remember 5 minutes after it's done? No, because most soundtracks today, you don't remember 5 minutes after it's done. I mean, Space Jam is a movie that encapsulates a moment in time. Yes, I understand as a Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny, you're really into him. This is not really the ideal type of movie to have where they have to share screen time with a basketball star. I understand that. Well, they got their own movie, Looney Tunes Back in Action, and I'm sorry, that was not as good as Space Jam. If you ask me which I would rather watch, I'd rather watch Space Jam than Looney Tunes Back in Action. Yes, Michael Jordan is not a good actor. He's even even though he's playing himself. But you know what? I still like Jordan, and I still think he's got the presence. Not as an actor, but just as the performer he is. And I don't know, maybe because being a big Jordan fan, I'm a sucker for this kind of movie. And it encapsulates the time of basketball where you had Charles Barkley and Larry Bird and no Magic Johnson, sadly. No Magic Johnson. I wonder why that is. And yeah, this song too. You wanna jam. And a great montage, I will say, of Michael Jordan highlights. Obviously, if you're a Looney Tunes fan and you don't give a fuck about sports or Michael Jordan, then yeah, this film would not appeal to you. Like Chuck Jones, I know he wasn't a fan of this. I can understand that. I didn't understand if you don't give a shit about basketball, why would you give a shit? But some people must have felt the same way I did because it was hugely successful, especially compared to Looney Tunes Back in Action, which did not do well at all. And that was more of a Looney Tune. So maybe it needed that hook in retrospect. Maybe the Michael Jordan thing, it needed that hook to be like, okay, this is strange, it's unique, it's a weird idea, it's so weird, I want to see how it plays out. But then you have just a typical, what some deem a typical Looney Tunes film, and they don't go see it. And that was from Joe Dante, a guy you would think would direct it with a flair from films like Inner Space and other stuff. But yeah, at this point, like I said, Michael Jordan had retired. First time from the Chicago Bulls. He had won 3 championships in a row. I think like 91, 92, 93. Then 94, and so he's like, okay, going to baseball. Thing my dad liked. He did not do well. But then he came back to the Bulls. 96, 97, 98. And then he retired again. And then he should just stayed that way, but then he went with, was it the Wizards? I forget. Didn't do much there, so it just should just... If you want to retire from the Bulls, boom, don't do anymore, or just retire as a Chicago Bull. Here we have the animation here. From what I understand, one of the things, like the director, because he did commercials, he likes these camera movements. And he's like, he wants to move the camera on. People are like, well, I don't know, in animation we don't really like doing that. But it's like, no, I want to have the camera move around and be maybe somewhat spontaneous. Of course, this voice here is Danny DeVito. Which I don't know how many times Danny DeVito gets this brought up to him. Probably never. And don't mind the animation for what it is. Like I said, about 92, 93, there was these Nike ads, like Hair Jordan. Actually, I have it here. Directed by Joe Pytka, the production of the 1992 ad was hindered by reluctance from Warner Brothers to allow Nike to modernize Bugs Bunny's character. But the commercial success of both ads was a nice bit of research for Warner Bros. To understand that the Bugs character still had relevance and to tie in with Michael. It greenlit the movie. It was a meeting between Nike executive as well as producer Ivan Reitman. Warner Bros. Tried to create more... they tried to do more with the animated film market in comparison with Disney. The project was closed when Michael Jordan retired from basketball in 1993, only to be reopened in 1995 when Jordan returned as a basketball player. Spike Lee was also interested in helping Pytka with the screenplay, but Warner Bros. Blocked him from the project out of dissatisfaction from how he funded Malcolm X. Huh. Most actors are like, what the hell is this? That's why it was hard to get actors. Before Wayne Knight, who's Michael Jordan's assistant, I guess he wanted either Michael J. Fox or Chevy Chase. But that didn't happen. I guess they also, okay, do we have to do Michael Jordan? Can we just have an experienced actor and then they play a basketball player or whoever? They're like, well, but again, that's the gimmick. Yes, it's a gimmicky movie, but it's a fun gimmicky idea. Gimmicks is not always a bad thing. It's a moment of time that will never be replicated. Well, I say that, but they're doing a sequel. Like the opposing team are helping Jordan because they're such a fan of his. Which I'm sure people are like, wow, what a... But at least they're not showing that, oh, he's this great baseball player. It does showcase he did suck at it. So I give credit to that. Because all the kiss ass. That was a good looking strikeout. You know what's sadly I could buy that some people were kissing his ass like this in real life. Now Michael Jordan as a person, I don't know. I've heard bad stories that he's an asshole, that you get him on the wrong day, he'll treat you like shit. I've never met the guy. I don't know. Maybe those were bad days. Maybe that's the truth. Don't know that. Don't know that until I meet the person in real life, to be fair. Or if I just fucking feel like, oh, fuck him and just for shits and giggles. Yeah, this is Wayne Knight from Jurassic Park. He was also on the TV show Seinfeld. Let's see. I guess the villain, there was actually talk of Jack Palin's voice in the villain, but then they got to Danny DeVito. Supervising animator said this. One thing I heard was that Ivan Reitman, when they were thinking about going ahead with this movie, had phoned up Robert Zemeckis about Who Framed Roger Rabbit and asked, do you have any advice on what we should do to make a movie like this? And he said, don't do it. It nearly killed me. Michael Jordan was filmed in a 360-degree green screen room with motion tractors playing and acting alongside green-suited NBA players and improv actors taken from the Groundlings Theater in school, serving as placement identifiers for the animated characters. It was a CGI background replica of a real-life setting chroma keyed in. Bill Murray initially came in to only work on the golf course scene and then wanted to be in the climactic basketball game after Picta showed him the process of how he directed the live-action / animation scenes. And yeah, I like some of these angles, like the showing their stature and looking up at Bugs Bunny. You know, certain camera movements of that, like that, which I'm sure the animators were like, "Oh fuck, really?" I do like the cell shading in this stuff. I know that's stupid to say because it's not cell shading, but it's just a certain way like Bugs Bunny looks, a certain dark shading to it. Also, I don't mind the voice acting in this either. I guess, you know, Chuck Jones, one of the things he said is, why would Bugs Bunny and them need Michael Jordan's help? I guess, I like the Looney Tunes, but I guess people really got how maybe they felt it made the Looney Tunes seem weak. I don't know, I guess that's up to you. Because you have these goofy little aliens, each one have their certain personality, persona. I think coming up, there's pretty much showcasing all the commercials Michael Jordan did. Yeah, I think it's coming up in a minute, but Michael Jordan did a shitload of commercials. Just from commercials alone, he made money more than any of us will see in our lifetime. I mean, there's Nike shoes, there's McDonald's, there's Hanes underwear, probably Right Guard deodorant, I believe. And it is a nice, actually, that's later on. I think it's when he wakes up or something. Never mind. But I'd say it's a nice capture of the 90s. You know, the way people are, the way films were made. That's the thing nowadays. People don't really want to do. Well, I keep saying that, but they're the thing with the sequel. I just go, who's really asking for a sequel to Space Jam? You know, a lot of people don't like the first Space Jam. I say that, but people will see it out of curiosity because they have. So I guess I do know why they're making it. They enjoy the first Space Jam. Or people who even hate the first Space Jam, they're still curious about. That's the thing. Like, this is not a beloved movie nowadays. There's a lot of people who hate the film or go, "Oh, that was stupid," or "What the fuck were they thinking?" or "That's so 90s" in a negative way. But then they go, "Well, when this stuff goes into play with the sequel, they go, well, people who are nostalgic, they'll go see it. People who are not nostalgic, they'll go see out of curiosity of the what the fuck mentality." I always thought it was weird that you have Michael Jordan, but you don't have his actual family. It's like you have actors playing his family. Wouldn't you have his family playing his family? But I don't know. I just thought that was weird. Like, yeah, Michael Jordan playing himself, but no one playing his family. Like, those are not his real kids. That's not his real wife. They're like, well, they're not really actors, but again, they're there to be his sons and daughters and wives. But again, I've never minded this. The movie, I don't think it's that bad. It's an hour and 27 minutes long, so it's fairly short. It doesn't overstay its welcome. The Looney Tunes stuff is still fun and entertaining. Nicely animated. Michael Jordan, he's not told to do much, just play himself, and he does that fine. And like I said, it's an entertaining gimmick. And like here, you have the old school animation from the TV, literally leaving the TV. I thought that was actually a cool idea that they actually left the cartoon. And you have so many characters, you have to wonder like how do you deal with all these characters? How do you make one get more time on screen than the other? And for each person, it'd be different if you wrote an idea of this nature. One person would be much more Daffy Duck. One person would be much more Sylvester the Cat. For one to be much more Sylvester and Tweety. For one to be much more Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. And that's kind of the tough thing. It would be different. For another, it'd be much more Porky Pig. So it's like, okay, well, which direction are you going to go in? Now, yes, in truthfulness, if you look to the logic of the Looney Tunes universe, they could take these guys out in less than 5 minutes. Because all the things these guys can do. Roadrunner would be so fast. Tasmanian Devil, they'd be so fast they wouldn't be able to get hit by these guns. Bugs Bunny would easily outwit them. Just the fact in numbers. You know, all the kids, you know how much the kids love Patton, right? The kids love Patton. They know a lot about Patton, right? So you have a Patton reference. You know, when I'm 10 years old or 80, let's see. I guess I was 13 when this came out. Yeah, when I'm 13 years old, I didn't know what the fuck Patton was. Again, with Sylvester getting the Tweety, the angles that were interesting here. The way the camera's like tilted to the side. Now it's funny, like you see those five guys there, you think okay, those five would be the five that would be on the basketball team, but it like differentiates because you got Lola Bunny and then Tweety goes in there and the other people. And again, forgive me, this is not going to be the most exciting commentary because I didn't direct the film. I didn't hate the film. If I hated the film, I'd just be making fun of everything. I don't mind this film. So this is gonna be a boring commentary. Sorry, Jonathan Lindsey. New York City Knicks. Patrick Ewing. And that's another thing. Like you look at this time in history, like all these guys. They got Patrick Ewing. You got Charles Barkley. Like all these guys. And Charles Barkley, you know what? In retrospect, Charles Barkley technically might have been the better performer as a lead. What I mean by that is Barkley has a fun personality. Like you watch him in interviews, you'll when you see nowadays he's on like ESPN and other places. Actually, that guy there is Dan Castellaneta, the guy on the right here. Dan Castellaneta is the voice of Homer Simpson. Just noticed that. I'm like, oh, there's Dan Castellaneta. Yeah, Charles Barkley definitely has a fun personality to him. And it'd actually be... He's a bit of a wise ass and a smart ass. And... again, in retrospect, I wonder... Because Michael Jordan is a pretty boring personality, to be fair. Yeah, I like him because of who he is and what he does on the court. Charles Barkley does, when you watch interviews, he'd be the guy with the more personality, more sense of humor. I do think he actually would have been better. So it would have been interesting to have a Space Jam with Charles Barkley instead of Michael Jordan. That would have been fairly interesting. Patrick Ewing. Like I say, it was cool to get all these basketball stars of the day and age. I mean, the dream team. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. Later on, you don't have Larry Bird. Muggsy. Again, the one thing I just don't get is why there's no Magic Johnson. I wonder if he said no or if something else happened with it. And so with the sequel, is it just going to be the same movie again? Is it going to be the same flick? And LeBron James, like, who are the other basketball players that we're going to look to? And maybe because I'm just not as familiar with the basketball today as I was back then. Maybe that's the case. Of course, you got the McDonald's. He's not drinking it, but he's holding McDonald's. Actually, I think this is coming up here. Yeah. Your Nikes, your Gatorade, McDonald's, all the ballpark, like hot dog Franks, yeah. This always made me laugh, this guy, or I don't know why, just the way he says, the vision the body statures. Like vision the body stature. I don't know, just the way he said that line. Like a vision the body statures. It's a bit weird seeing about how we don't want to go in the locker room because of bacteria, and then because of what's happened today. And it's a bit weird for that split second of seeing Daffy Duck in a cheerleader outfit. A lot of cross-dressing in it. Bugs Bunny did a lot. Not really something you thought of back in the day, but nowadays, like, wow, guys and Looney Tunes are just ready to put on a dress, a cheerleader outfit. Go figure. I mean, if you're into that, that's cool. I'm just pointing out it's not really something you thought about until much later. I know there's a newer Looney Tunes show. I didn't bother to watch it. When you did stuff like Elmer Fudd taking away his gun, his rifle, because it's too problematic, but you give him a scythe, so it's okay to cut Bugs Bunny's head off and shove it up his ass, slice him up from stirring the gullet, but to shoot him is wrong. Again, to cut his head off with what the fuck Grim Reaper has, that's fine. That's cool. But shooting him, that's problematic. Get the fuck out of here. And no, Porky Pig did not have to say I wet myself. I don't think you needed that. Now we did my favorite part of the movie is Bill Murray. And that's the thing back then when Bill Murray did comedy. Even a small role like this, he would steal the show. He helped steal the show in Little Shop of Horrors, playing the role Jack Nicholson did in the original Little Shop of Horrors. This bit here, I think he stole the show. You can stop posing. There's Larry Bird. I swear, I'm surprised like you wouldn't have like Magic Johnson, like the trilogy. Magic, Michael, and Bird. Like you'd have the four of them instead of. I think Bill Murray was in some of these commercials as well. I could be wrong on that. And Bill Murray, I'm sure he did this, number one, because Ivan Reitman probably asked. Of course, worked together on Ghostbusters. Being a big sports guy. Hey, I get to be on screen with Michael Jordan. And I get to be on screen with the Looney Tunes. Cool. No, Larry's white. So what? Larry's not white. Larry's clear. Larry's not white, Michael. Larry's clear. That's what I mean. Like Bill Murray, just two scenes, he steals the show. And then Larry Bird like telling him why he can't be on it. That's coming up. I remember he can't jump. Uh, Go on. I think later on when he gets pulled in, Bill Murray's like, "What kind of camera you got? Don't point that at me." They did the camera did it. Great. I don't think is a ball made of metal that whatever. You know, it's fucking cartoon. It is alive. Which of course Bill Murray said that in Stripes as well. It is alive. Which I wonder if that was a callback because you know Stripes, Ivan Reitman. No, like I said, Michael Jordan, he's not that good of an actor, even though he's playing himself. I can admit that. I'm not going to say this movie's perfect, flawless film, but fun, nostalgic, sure. What kind of camera is that? Don't point at me. And that's the thing when you get to the Space Jam sequel, now that you don't have the nostalgia, as people call the nostalgia goggles. And yeah, I don't. Even without the nostalgia goggles, I don't think the film is that bad. I think it's entertaining. The animation works. The soundtrack music works. If you like basketball, the action in that works. And again, it's a moment of time. Now, Bugs Bunny kissing Michael Jordan, I wonder if that was an ode to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because Roger would kiss Bob Hoskins like that. So I do wonder if that was sort of their nod to... And Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a much better movie than this, by far. Because Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you know, Bob Hoskins is an actual actor. It's an actual... This is more of a gimmick movie. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is an actual real movie where it's telling an actual story with a bit of emotion with Bob Hoskins, his brother passing away, and he's so hateful because of what happened, because a cartoon killed his brother. He hates cartoons even though he works for them, but then overcoming that prejudice and becoming friends with Roger, the mystery film noir angle. There's a lot to Frame Roger Rabbit to look into. There's really nothing deep to look into this. And also, you see the way Michael Jordan's acting with Bugs Bunny, and the way he's acting, it makes you realize how hard of a job that is. And Bob Hoskins really did seem like he was looking at Roger Rabbit. Michael Jordan is like, kind of like this. So, so your Space Jam Legacy, if people look forward to it, that's fine. To me, I just, maybe because I did not, I don't have that nostalgia fact. Obviously, I don't. It's not meant for me, maybe. That's what it is. And just, LeBron James, I don't have that attachment as a basketball player compared to Michael Jordan. Storyline wise, like the gimmick's already done. We've already seen the gimmick play out. So with the first Space Jam, even if you think it's a bad idea, there's that inane curiosity of how is it going to play out, what's going to happen. But we've done that. We've seen that already. We've seen how that could play out. We have a frame of reference for how that could play out. So it doesn't, as stupid as it sounds, doesn't feel as fresh. I thought that was a bit weird, the spit shine thing. Would most of these characters really just keep fucking spitting everywhere to clean everything? But it's like, whatever. I think if Tasmanian Devil can do this, he could have done this when the guys was small. I just fuck him up. And this is where Daffy Duck kisses his ass, literally. Which is a bit weird. I mean, it's a bit weird to see someone literally kiss their own ass, but Daffy Duck just did it, so is it okay? Now these guys look like the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, honestly. Steroid up, roid rage abusing, limp dit bid fucks. Like Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles. Oh, I know. This film was successful when it came out. It was fairly successful. And there were talks of doing a sequel, and they thought, okay, what about Spy Jam? Yes, at one time they thought of Spy Jam, which would have been Jackie Chan. Which, you know what? That would have been really cool. I actually would have liked to have seen that. But we got Looney Tunes back in action, and people get mad at me for this. I would rather have seen a Spy Jam with Jackie Chan working with the Looney Tunes than fucking Looney Tunes back in action. Which was just... There's a couple of neat scenes, but as a whole, it's just like, meh. I wouldn't even... As much as I'm trashing it, I don't even hate Looney Tunes back in action. I don't hate it. I've seen Pocket Ninjas. I've seen Robo Vampire. I've seen fucking a Serbian film. You know, I've seen movies way worse in all avenues of spectrum than Looney Tunes back in action. It just more like, maybe time waster at best. But just like, kind of that reaction. Oh, here's Charles Barkley. Even like his look, his demeanor, I do think he's kind of... This sounds stupid. Charles Barkley seems more of a movie star than Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan was the better player, leading people to championships. Charles Barkley never got the championship. It just didn't work out. But it does seem like Charles Barkley had more of the... I'm not saying actor. I'm saying movie star. There's a difference. There are people that are shitty actors. Or mediocre actors. Or... they're alright. But they're good movie stars. I like Chuck Norris. I think there are times where he's fairly good, like Missing Action 2. There are times where he's not great, but he works because he's a movie star. He's got the persona, or the look, or anything of that nature. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because if it works, it works. Like Chuck Norris is a movie star. I think Charles Barkley could have been that. In this capacity. Not like a fucking action film or anything. But I mean, in this. I know I'm giving too much credit to Charles Barkley, but I don't know, I like the guy. I did. If you watch him talk smack when he's on the sport, I forget what it was. This weird, like, hello baby, like with the music, with the sound, hello baby, yeah, the very very deep voice. Interesting choice for this scene where all the other players are on the psychologist couch. I love him. I didn't even know he. I don't even realize he dated Madonna. I'll never date Madonna again. Let's see. And yeah, I apologize for the lack of commentary. Just I haven't, didn't work on the film, so I don't know what to. I guess for me, if I like a film, I don't really make a lot of jokes about the film because I like it. That's a weird thing. Like if you love a film, but then people make like 85,000 jokes as if they hate it. It's like, well, do you like it? Then this is I think the first ever introduction of Lola Bunny, which I do wonder what was the decision behind it for, I guess, Bugs Bunny, they thought he needed a love interest or something. Was she, of all the stuff from this film, she's like the one thing that's popped up later where she's been in other stuff. She's been in other shows. By this, maybe, something for the girls to look up to. I will say though, it is interesting in this day and age when you look back. Like Lola Bunny, they made her shorts almost so high she needs to shave. And I don't mean her legs. She made like a tight top, like as about this close to a fucking Hooters, like working at Hooters. Like literally, you do this far and you had a Hooters monitor on. She'd be Remember Big Daddy? At the end of Big Daddy, when Adam Sandler found his former girlfriend's working at Hooters with the old guy that she left him for. That's almost the same outfit Lola Bunny has. And then like all the Looney Tunes are like checking out her ass. So the more relatable, I guess. But that is a weird conversation to have because I guarantee you there's a lot of kids that saw Lola Bunny and went, I'd hit that. I'm like, it's a cartoon. Well, is she over 18? I guess. Is she clean? Probably. I'll hit that. She got hair, so do I, so we got something in common. Some people like the hair pie. Okay, that's a conversation. What the fuck? Sometimes I don't know what the fuck I say, man. Oh my god, that's that. Which is weird because she wears clothes, but Bugs Bunny doesn't wear clothes. So like she wears clothes as if she has something to hide, but no one else is wearing clothes, so I guess they have nothing to hide. But you know what? Maybe whatever. Next topic. But I mention that because it's a conversation don't be brought up. What about Lola Bunny? She's a cartoon and she's a rabbit. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, I appreciate the director does move the camera around. It's not a lot of static shots. So when an animated character's on screen, there's a lot of like moving along with him, panning here and there. And how tough that is, so you have to have a real chair, so you have to have something move for real, then plug in the character after the fact. I was almost going to say you don't really see this much nowadays, but that's a lie. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, you saw it. All those films like Alvin the Chipmunks, Yogi Bear. That's the thing, like, compared to, like, okay, if you told me which would you rather watch, this or the Smurfs, I would go with this. This or that fucking Woody Woodpecker one. Holy shit. That pissed me off. Because I like Woody Woodpecker. And they made such a shitty fucking film. I'm like, what the fuck? It's only direct to video? I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why it's direct to fucking video. No, I never reviewed it because it's fucking abysmal. Pissed me off too much. But just... fuck that shit. The children didn't do anything, Daffy. Don't be a prick. I did. I don't really know why they didn't use Michael Jordan's kids. Maybe it's like, hey, I don't really want my kids on screen. That's understandable. But I wonder in retrospect, the kids are like, what the fuck? I could have been in Space Jam? Come on, Dad. What the fuck? I could have been in that? I'd be pissed. If I was the son and then I found out, wait, I could... What the fuck? Oh, oh, who would want to be proud to be in Space Jam? I would. I would. Yeah, these basketball players are listening to this fortune teller tell the story of the movie. And the way they act is pretty much how most of people acted. What, this is a stupid idea. We're leaving. But, I mean, it must have been a smart enough idea that, like I said, enough people went and it was a big, successful film. And the soundtrack to this movie, the soundtrack to this film was huge. People may not realize just how huge the soundtrack was. People are like, what? Who cares about that? That's it. By the way, that's an interesting thing where why don't we name the team the Ducks? And someone goes, what kind of Mickey Mouse organization would name their team the Ducks? Of course, that's relation to the Mighty Ducks, which was Disney. And people might not even know Richard Simmons, which is the aerobics guy they're watching. But Richard Simmons was a big thing back in the day. They had all of these aerobic workout videos. And, yeah, nowadays people might be like, who the fuck is Richard Simmons? But, yeah, the guy they were watching on TV, the Looney Tunes, is Richard Simmons. Fly like an eagle to the sea, into the future. I can't sing for shit. Yeah, nice. People are like, well, it's directly like a commercial. I don't mind that in this instance. It brought a little bit of energy to it. And Wayne Knight does alright for the kind of role he's supposed to play. In retrospect, it would have been very interesting if this kind of role was Michael J. Fox or Chevy Chase. I mean, it would have been interesting. But, you know, Wayne Knight does okay. But, you know, I would have preferred those two, sure. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, I'm not saying anything. We're got like about 40 minutes in. All this chaos. Sadly, I see all this chaos with people, with not people, but with buildings being shut down, quarantine. It's a bit weird watching this in today's age, even for a silly, kids film. After meeting with the team owners, we until we can guarantee the health of our players, there will be no more basketball this season. So, holy shit. I mean, I don't want to say that predicted the future, but that watches again, that's more prevalent than it's supposed to be. Oh, there's a nice little shot of the fraud there with the top hat, the one who's quiet. Hello, my darling. Hello, my gal. And then the guy's, hey, he can sing, he can sing. And then he just act quiet again. That's another thing people forget with Looney Tunes. The tunes in Looney Tunes was not spelled like people think they were. Like Toons. They were not spelled that way. They were Tunes. I mean, nowadays maybe people spell it just to make it easier on people, but this isn't Michael Buffer, is it? Doing the No, I don't think it is. I'm surprised they didn't get Michael Buffer, if that's the case. We just don't wonder why they didn't get Michael Buffer. It's funny, I see like the wolf howling that makes me think of Jim Carrey's The Mask when he did that, like when he turned to the wolf. Like every shot with Lola Bunny is just like for sexy's sake. That's kind of cute that everyone had their own like fake ears. It's like people in the audience, they did not know it was going to be Michael Jordan. You think it would have been advertised and people would have been less shocked. But be like, huh? Who's that? Let's just go out and have fun, Michael. That's a really stupid line. Guys, let's just go out and have fun. If they lose, they become slaves. But you tell them just go out and have fun. It's like, did no one tell Michael the script? I mean, he was told to say that, but it's like, that's a really stupid line. Look, guys, let's go out and have fun. I know if you lose, you're going to be slaves to them for the rest of your life. But yeah, just go out and have fun. That's it's a stupid fucking lie. I didn't even realize that until now. But I mean, to give Michael Jordan credit, you think about this whole finale, how hard well, you don't have all this stuff on you. So it makes me wonder if he had all these sensors, did he have to do this stuff twice? Because obviously right now he has no sensors on. But does he then have to replicate it again? If he needed... Well, I guess why would he need sensors? Now that I think about it, why would he need it? It'd be the people you would think on the... who were playing the Monstars. But I'm just saying, like, Michael Jordan has to react to each one of these people. How tall they are. Like I said, I thought the director showcasing the basketball scenes At least he used a lot of nice different angles, nice usage of slow motion, movements of the camera. Now, see, this is exactly true of Michael Jordan. I have a feeling as a team captain, there'd be a few more colorful words being used. What the fuck you doing? Come on, this is bullshit. Yeah. Because it seems like he gets very adamant in the playing ball. Also, sometimes I wonder like how many fucking people are the the on the team. Because I'm like, there's five, but very cute little mouths, and look what they did to them. Unbelievable little fuckers. Did Yosemite Sam have his gun out? That'd be like he shoots someone. Give me your ball. My ball. Shoots him right in the fucking head. With how big they are, they don't even have to slam. They could just go, boom. I just to show off. And that's a hell of a backboard to not break. That's a bit horrific seeing this big hole in Yosemite Sam's body. I mean, Sylvester the Cat's body. But, so that is not so much of silence. Let me see if I can find any other trivia on this movie. If I can. But yeah, it's a movie. I mean, in 1996 was a pretty decent year for movies. I mean, you had Independence Day, you had Twister, you had the first Mission Impossible, you had The Rock. A lot of very solid movies that year. It's a pretty damn good year for movies. Let's see. Although Michael Jordan's real kids were not in the film, their names were used, which makes it even a bit weirder. Warner Brothers built Michael Jordan an actual basketball court on the set so he could use it whenever he could on breaks. Noel Blanc, Mel Blanc's son, was originally booked to provide all the regular Warner Bros. Male cartoon character voices, but he and Warner Bros. Could not agree on a contract, so the studio replaced Blanc with four other people to do the 12 male voices. Huh. Bill Murray's appearance is a reference to a series of 90s commercials in which Murray starred in. The commercials had Murray trying and failing to become an NBA player. Well, there you go. Let's see. Joe Pickett wanted Michael J. Fox to play Stan, but he was overruled by the studios. So it was the studios. Why would the studios not want Michael J. Fox? I don't understand that. Grossed over 230 million worldwide, which doesn't sound like a lot nowadays, but it was quite a bit back then. Bill Murray accepted a role in the film after expressing regret at missing out on the chance to be in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's right. They wanted Bill Murray to star in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but he was the type of guy that no one could get in touch with him. And he says that's one of the times he was the most pissed, especially after seeing the film. So that's why he did it. Now, of course, we have all the guys getting their own. Because, you know, all the kids, they know Pulp Fiction. So, I think some interesting references. I mean, you look at Pulp Fiction, a film with a gimp, and there's a Looney Tunes reference to Pulp Fiction. But that's what made it interesting. It tried to be a little bit more, not just for kids, but for teen, like, older audiences. And I think that actually works better in hindsight. Because as older you get, you do understand the references more. Like the Pulp Fiction one, I thought that was kind of a fun reference. And each one showcasing the Looney Tunes, you'll get their moment to shine. There's Pepe Le Pew getting his moment to shine. Michael Jordan gets his moment to shine. Here's Daffy Duck. And anyway, it goes at a good pace. I mean, uh, definitely a nice moment for Tweety Bird to shine. While you don't piss off Tweety Bird, just knocks him the fuck out. That's probably one of the funniest images, is all of a sudden this Elmer Fudd just coming towards you. Because it's Tweety Bird beating people up, and then all of a sudden there's Elmer Fudd just out of the blue, doing the Michael Jordan ton thing. Just thought it was pretty hilarious. Yeah, Michael Jordan doesn't really. He does. Yeah, he doesn't really sell that line the best. You want a piece of me? Come and get it. Yeah, I don't really buy it the way he said it. You want a piece of me? Come and get it. Like, So I think like Charles Barkley could have really made you believe in saying that. I don't know how great of an attraction that would be to play one-on-one with a guy in ball and chains and always lose. Kind of a shitty attraction in my opinion. Or maybe successful in 5 minutes, maybe for 10 minutes or 10 days. But after that, not so much. See, in Richard, I do wonder if a successful movie can be done with the Looney Tunes characters, because in history they've done so many stories, and usually the stories are very short, because Unless you actually go into the characters of the Looney Tunes. Because if you don't, then there's only so long that you can take their silly... Well, that's not true, but... Okay, they're silly, they're silly, they're silly, they're loony, they're loony. What else is there if you're not going to do anything else with it? Any amount of seriousness or any amount of drama. I'm not saying it needs to be fucking... Forrest Gump or... I don't know. Try to think of an Oscar. It doesn't need to be fried green tomatoes. It doesn't need to be tears of endearment. But at least a little bit of something. That's kind of a creepy Tweety and an Iron Lung. And you have like a bird. Like, when did the bird play? And he's got like bandages on his face, like even over his eyes. I don't know why. I'm just sad. And it's always that weird thing. Like, Sylvester the cat got a hole in his stomach, but he's perfectly fine. But other people have like bandages on as if they're broken. It's like, you're not supposed to look at consistency. It's just a cartoon. But just weird, like, you get shot, you have a big hole in your stomach, you're fine. But on the flip side, you'll have a broken arm cast. There you go. And the crowd shots are nice too, just to see the variety of designs of characters you have. Different animals, different creatures in the background. Alley's gonna stop, you know, and blow up like Big Trouble in China. He does look like Big Trouble in China in that shot. He just go real like thunder. And this is pretty much just to teach them that you could... There's no limitations in this world when it comes to the working your body and such. With all the people they had, they can't find a fifth player. But I gotta say, this was a nice surprise when I first saw it. That's something like Bill Murray for me is the best part of the film. Bill, we're on defense. Whoa, whoa, I don't do defense. Now, of course, no, this film is not looked at as finely as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but still, it's still a, you know, you did the fact that you get to share on screen with Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all this other stuff. It's still a pretty cool notion. Of course, the producer that's a friend of his is Ivan Reitman. And yeah, it was cool to see Bill Murray come back in the third act. I think that really did help. I think a lot of people, they got a big smile out of it. And this is a time when Bill Murray really, I mean, for the most part, did concentrate on comedy. And sadly, I mean, he still did some good stuff, Lost in Translation, St. Vincent, but yeah, he doesn't really do a lot of quote comedy anymore, which is fine. He doesn't have to, but just I miss that Bill Murray. I miss that Bill Murray that even Larger Than Life I enjoy. It was cool. Like they brought Bill Murray in, but they didn't make him useless. Like he had some good passes, helps to steal the ball, did get on offense. Never mind. Of course, the ultimate Air Jordan. There's Mr. Fantastic. It's the one thing I always think of when I think of this is armpit hair. Shave them damn armpits, Michael. Ah, damn armpit hair. You two play in the NBA, Bill? Thanks, Mike. I'll call you on that. I'm going to take this opportunity to retire from the game. What? I'm going to retire right now and that's it. I'm defeated. I'm undefeated. Go out undefeated. You go celebrate. You sure? I have to ice down my knees. The start of the go out. Oh, and then there's one bit later on with him and Larry Bird. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, we're already getting to a close, and because, okay, it's an hour and 11 minutes, there's quite a bit of end credits. In retrospect, Space Jam is not a artful classical movie. I wouldn't even say it's a great in the vein of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yes, it's a movie of its time. Yes, the movie was more of a gimmick than an actual film. But you know what? It's an entertaining gimmick. It's an entertaining film. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's a short film that doesn't overstay its welcome. I think the animation is still nice. The Looney Tunes are still fun to watch. The the basketball stuff is cool. I'm a fan of basketball. For people who are, it's a nice window through time and onto that, how do I put it? It's a nice window through time of what was going on in the mid 90s. Seeing people, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, all these guys there. I think at the end, Michael Jordan and them are playing against Orlando Magic, I believe, and you see Shaquille O'Neal in there. And again, even to this day, people still enjoy the soundtrack at the very least, and can still think of songs like "Fly Like an Eagle" and "I Believe I Can Fly." Stuff from this movie is carried on, like the Lola Bunny character. She is carried on into various other shows and platforms. And the movie is unique. And I like how unique it is. Yes, it is a weird concept. You know what? I'm open to more weird concepts. I'm not saying they will always work, but we don't always need to see the same concept over and over and over again. Again, I'm open to a weird, strange, unique concept. That's why a lot of people, including myself, was curious of a Freddy vs. Jason movie. And while I think that's a deeply flawed film, especially in retrospect, I'm still glad it was made because we got to see that come to reality. A lot of this other stuff, it's like, oh, that sounds too stupid. You know what? I would like to see it. Give it a try. Just guess what? People don't like the film. You got Looney Tunes back in action. Afterward. Like I said, oh, that guy there on the left, I forget his name. He was in the bleachers, the stands. He's passed by, but if you remember John Carpenter's The Thing, the guy was on the table, and the stomach opens up when the paddles go in him. He's in this film, and I forgot his name though. Like, people are not shocked that there's a spaceship. They're like, "Yay, Michael!" I'll be like, "What the fuck? There's a fucking spaceship. What the fuck is a spaceship doing there?" But like, "Yay, Michael!" Like, Michael is more impressive than a spaceship. There's a spaceship behind him. Fuck it. It's Jordan. It did. It is what it is. It's not against the law to have fun in a movie. Apparently that is. Like, there's this new Nick Cage film, Willy's Wonderland, and it's getting all these bad reviews. As like, well, it's just Nick Cage beating the shit out of animatronics for 80 minutes. I'm like, that sounds good to me. I'm not saying it's going to be an A plus film, but sometimes a B movie is a good thing to have. And this is a B movie. But it's a fun B movie. You want your town back? Touch the ball. I did like what Muggsy said. Looks like Star Trek. That's a lot of Star Trek. And here they're getting all their mojo back, so to speak. Hey, I caught it. Hey, this is Matt once again. Sorry about the edits. Little screw up there. So I am paused at 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 21 seconds. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As now they've gotten their mojo back. I know I probably missed a minute or two there. It's hard to sync up again. Because I had to get something done, and I had to fix something else, and then I accidentally forgot to hit pause. So, well, we're almost at the end of it here. Pretty much culminating him coming back to the game, which I guess was around 95. Because, yeah, I think he came back in 95. They didn't win. And so the 96, 97, 98. That was when Dennis Rodman was part of the team and so forth. In retrospect, he should not have retired in the first place. He just should not have. There was no point. Here's Bill Murray, the scene I was talking about. Okay, you can't play. It's done. Yeah, I think somewhere around here is Shaquille O'Neal. Nice. An hour and 18 minutes. An hour and 18 minutes. And it's weird when I hear the soundtrack and see montage of pictures. It does bring me back to my youth. It does bring me back to seeing this for the first time, being a sucker for both Basketball Jordan and Looney Tunes, the combination of the two. And I did a certain sense of entertaining fun to it. Muggsy, Larry Johnson, Sean Bradley, Ahmad Rashad, a lot of people as themselves. Yeah, Dan Castellaneta as male fan. Like I said, that's the voice of Homer Simpson. Character voices: Billy West was Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd. D. Bradley Baker was Daffy Duck. June Foray as Granny. Oh, Dorian Harewood as Monster Bupkis. T.J. Carter? Really? T.J. Carter from The Thing? Interesting. I think that's the same T.J. Carter. I don't know any other T.J. Carters. The one I know is from John Carpenter's The Thing. Actually, wait a minute. I know I'm pausing. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I just gotta look back 1 second. I know. First off, I want to see. Let me see something real quick. Okay, first off, it's not showing who that guy is. I said in the stands he was from The Thing. It's not showing his name. I don't know why. Because I'd recognize his name. Yeah, why is... Yeah, he doesn't get credit, really? Okay. Okay, the voices. Dorian Harewood as Monstar Bupkis. He was in quite a few films. I believe he was in Sudden Death of Van Damme. And then Monster Naught. T.K. Carter. Huh. I thought it said Knowles, which I think was his name in The Thing. But this is Naught. T.K. Carter. I didn't know. Maybe it's a different T.K. Carter. The guy with the roller skates and John Carpenter's The Thing, who was one of the last few, then he died off screen. But it's just the end credits here, so I'm not sure what else to say, but yeah. The entertaining movie, interesting for the references, like Pulp Fiction, the especially if you're a basketball fan at the times, the nice nostalgia trip down memory lane. Idea, it might not be the most artfully done movie with the story. It's definitely no Who Framed Roger Rabbit in that aspect. There's nothing emotional. There's nothing character-wise that it's definitely more of a product than a film. It's definitely more of a gimmick than a film. But I know I keep repeating myself. I'm fine with a gimmick if it's entertaining. Like if you want to see that dumb Bally, Mac and Me with McDonald's. Mac and Me is a bad movie on any front. It's not an actual film, but it's also bad in just entertainment factor. So again, Space Jam, I think is doing this more in the right way. Mac and Me is doing that in the wrong way. And just to, I'm going to fast forward a bit. A lot of credits on this. Quite a bit of credits. Again, someone was telling me about there were problems and the director, he thought he had everything in control, and then he realized he was a shit creep, then he had to get people, but I don't know all the details of it. But yeah, you have Fly Like an Eagle by Seal. You got I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. Did he piss on the Looney Tunes too? I believe I can piss. I believe I can piss on your face. I think you like it every night and day. I see my piss, it flies away. I believe I can squat. See my piss through that open door. I believe I can piss. I believe I can piss. I can piss in your face. Hit 'em High, the Monstars anthem Be Real, Busta Rhymes, Coolio, LL Cool J, and Method Man. Think about that. Busta Rhymes, Coolio, LL Cool J, I mean, on one track. Salt and Pepper, Upside Down. Let's see. Pump Up the Jam by Technotronic. Space Jam. Quad City DJs. Wait a minute. Basketball Jones, written by Cheech and Chong, performed by Barry White and Chris Rock? What the hell, did I miss that? Okay. Where was that at? Must have missed it. Basketball, okay. Yeah, Tender Advisors, Olympic footage. Special thanks Illinois Film Office, Chicago Film Office, City of Long Beach, California. Okay. Oh, then you have some at the very end. Bugs Bunny, no, that's all, folks. Porky Pig's like, that's my line. What the fuck you doing, buddy? Daffy Duck's like, no, I'm gonna do it. You both fuck off. And then Little Monsters do it too. And that's all, folks. So, not much for feature Sally with films like this. I mean, director Joe Pitka does a commentary with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Trailer. And that's pretty much it. I think, like, on the DVD, you got disc 2, and of course it's on the same disc on the Blu-ray. I mean, there's not a lot of, when you have films like this, Sally, with features, they don't go in a lot of in-depth on the making of the production design. I don't know why. Because I think that'd be fascinating. But that's why it would have been nice to see a retrospective documentary. And if those pitfalls did happen, I'd like to hear the ups and downs of the film, of the making of the film. Michael Jordan, how does he feel about today? How did he feel? The people, Bill Murray, well, he never does interviews, but Ivan Reitman, other basketball players, the kids, the voice act, I mean, the good and the bad. I would love to hear it, but what do I know? With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.